That first week just sucks. Plain and simple. But there aren't any shortcuts, and you just have to get through it. The days are super long and the nights were hard too. It was like I had forgotten how to go to sleep at night. I was so used to passing out or blacking out that I couldn't remember the last time I'd actually fallen asleep naturally without a substance. And then once I did fall asleep, it wasn't a good sleep. I was super restless. In fact, that first night, I slept about 1 to 2 hours. It wasn't much, and I had super vivid dreams. When I would mention this problem to somebody in sobriety, I was told that lack of sleep wouldn't kill me. Hated that. So they'd say a lack of sleep wouldn't kill me, but a drink could. And on top of not sleeping much that first week and feeling awful from detoxing, I had that famous brain fog. I couldn't think clearly at all, and I felt like a zombie walking around, out of sorts and lost. I hated it. So if you're sitting on your couch right now, sweating from detox, staring at the ceiling, and wondering if you're losing your mind, you aren't. You're just going through the hardest part of getting sober. The first week, actually, like the first 3 months, are the worst. Those were the hardest days of my life. And I've been through a lot in my decades. Most people can't get through those first 30 days. I'm going to help you get through them by sharing my experience, strength, and hope. So, welcome back to Living the Solution. Today, we're talking more about surviving week 1. In my last video, I talked about how time felt like it just stopped. 1 minute feels like an hour, and an hour can feel like 5. I remember not knowing what to do with myself. My life was all about drinking before. So now that my so-called friend, alcohol, wasn't allowed in my life, I didn't know what to do with myself. I felt empty and disgusted. And I had put on about 30 pounds. So I felt so bloated and I had this puffy face, like I didn't recognize myself in the mirror anymore. And I felt awkward going out in public. I mean, back then there wasn't a grocery delivery service, was no DoorDash. So I had to go to the grocery store in person. And I remember walking down the grocery aisle feeling so out of place, feeling like people were just looking at me. I was crawling out of my skin. It took every ounce of me not to buy alcohol. Are you going through that? Do you know what I'm talking about? I mean, I took the alcohol away and I felt worse, not better. And every minute felt like a battle because my mind kept bringing up a drink. It wouldn't shut off. It was hell. But I was told that if I'm going through hell, which I was, to not stop walking. Keep going through. You got to go through it to get to the other side. On top of hating myself, I had felt antsy, awkward, the brain fog. I used to think I was fairly smart. I mean, I'd graduated high school, top of my class, gone to a very prestigious university, and yet here I was, just trying to remember to brush my teeth. I couldn't think. I hated it. I hated all of it. But I didn't want to have to go through this again. I didn't want to go backwards anymore, if that makes any sense. I had tried to get sober for years and I just kept getting stuck and going back out. I couldn't make it through the first 30 days. But this time, I really felt done. And I was willing to do whatever it took to stay sober. Remember, every day that you don't pick up is a successful day, regardless of what you haven't done on your checklist, right? You have to walk through this. Your body is healing and it takes time. Your brain is healing. It's detoxing. I remember feeling like I was just going through the motions, brushing my teeth, taking a shower, trying to eat, making coffee, all of the basics of living. That was enough. That was all I could handle. I couldn't concentrate. I was forgetful, had trouble finding my words. I still have trouble finding my words. And I really wasn't motivated to do much. I didn't have a job at the time, so staying sober became my job. Sobriety was my priority. And while I felt like I couldn't think clearly and make any sort of major decision, that was okay. I knew that the brain fog would eventually go away. So I'm here to tell you it gets better. Eventually, you will start thinking clear. Remember that everything feels like a lot in the beginning. Basic life skills like making a sandwich, a cup of coffee, driving, all of it felt so overwhelming. I couldn't think far into the future because I would get overwhelmed. So I had to stay in the moment and only handle what was right in front of me. And that's okay. It's all okay. You have to rest. You have to take it easy during this time. There is no pushing through faster. There is no skipping to the end and avoiding the middle. You can't rush this part. You have to be patient with your body. Remember, we were dumping basically a poison into our body every single day. When we stop, it takes time for the brain and body to heal and readjust. Nighttime was super difficult for me. If this makes any sense, I feared going to sleep. My brain wouldn't shut off. Reading didn't work because I couldn't think. I couldn't focus, so I couldn't escape through reading. And I would just sit there and watch TV like a zombie. And I would get so bored. I mean, back then we didn't have social media and reels and funny videos to watch on our smart devices. Netflix wasn't streaming at that point, so I was so limited as to what I could watch on TV. So I was bored, okay? But people told me boredom wouldn't kill me. So there I was, just trying to get through the night. Once I did fall asleep, it wasn't even a deep sleep. It usually was just for a couple of hours at a time, if I was lucky. My sleep was really restless. I tossed and turned, and sometimes after only sleeping a couple of hours, I'd get up around 4 a.m. and couldn't go back to sleep. I was just wide awake. I was wide awake with myself and my own thoughts. Not a great place for a newly sober person to be. So, more TV. Now, I did read some of the AA Big Book, and I would read what I could, but with the brain fog, there was only so much I could handle and process. I don't know if that's where you're at, but if it is, what you're experiencing is normal. I had a hard time sitting still too. I didn't want to do anything, but I didn't want to just lie in bed either. It's a tough spot to be in. It's a really tough spot. So I understand what you're dealing with, but I'm here to tell you, to give you some hope that it gets better. The nighttime will get easier. Right now is the hardest part. And my experience and the experience of many others is that the sleep issue will resolve. It just takes time. The body's recovering from being sick, so give it time to heal. I know it's difficult, but try to get as much rest as you can get, though. Just like when we're sick with a temperature, we rest. We don't get a bunch of chores checked off our list. We rest and take care of ourselves physically. Same thing here. Try to rest as much as possible because not only are you going to feel tired during the day from the lack of sleep at night, but your body is healing too. For starting to heal your mind, that's a different issue to tackle. To treat our mind, we have to attend meetings. I had to attend meetings. I couldn't think myself into the right thinking. I had to go to meetings and listen to the solution in order to get my thoughts back on the right track. My mind was trying to kill me. It told me lies. I could have just one drink. I've done it before. I could do it again. This time it'll be different, right? Is that what your head tells you? It's what mine told me. This time I'll stop at one glass of wine or maybe one bottle. This time I'll just have one drink at the bar. This time I won't text anybody. This time I'll stop drinking at 8 so I won't be so hungover tomorrow. My brain lied to me. I had lost the choice in drink, and I could see that now. So now what? Now that I can identify the problem of my brain lying to me, how do I fix it? I had to take the action first. I had to take the right action first for the right thinking to follow, not the other way around. Remember that list I had you create? The one I told you to create in the previous video on every reason why you should quit drinking? Well, this is when you pull it out. This is an action step. Pause this video and grab it right now if you don't have it in your hands. You need to have this list super handy. Keep it with you at all times. It saved me multiple times from my brain lying to me because I forgot how bad it was. Even if my last drink was just yesterday or 5 days ago, I would forget. My brain played tricks on me. My brain told me lies. But when I pulled that list out, sitting right in front of me in black and white, were all the reasons why I needed to quit. There was no rationalizing it away. There was no doubting my thoughts. It was written right in front of me. That's powerful. It told my brain that you're wrong, that drinking is hurting me, and here's a list of all the reasons why. This is a super difficult time in recovery. Remember these 3 things. Even if you didn't hear anything else I said today, remember. I want you to remember, your feelings won't kill you. Feelings come and go. They pass. They may not feel like it, but they do. Feel your feelings. Let them pass through you. Don't resist them or shove them down. Don't try to block them. Alcohol squashed my feelings, and I hated feeling. I didn't want to have anything to do with it. Now that I'm not drinking, feelings flooded over me, and it didn't matter what time of day it was. So I need you to remember that these feelings pass, and they're not going to kill you, all right? Even though it feels like it. All right, number 2, brain fog passes. The amount of time it takes for our brains to become fully functional again varies from person to person. There isn't a set time frame, but for me, I want to say it was at least like 3 months before I started to feel somewhat, just a little bit coherent. And really clear was more around the 6 to 9 month mark. So be patient with yourself. And the third thing is that sleep will return. This was eventually normal too. I felt like I had forgotten how to fall asleep. I thought it would never go back to normal, but it does. This just takes some time. Hang in there. Thank goodness for Netflix and Hulu and all the other streaming apps we have these days. As a side note, if something I say turns you off, please stick with me. Be willing to listen. When we turn off and shut down, we're closing the door on getting closer to a solution. We're closing the door to options. Even if you only hear one thing from my video, it's one more thing to take with you to help you on your road of sobriety. Every time I went to a meeting, there was always at least one thing I would hear. Sometimes it was at the beginning of a meeting, sometimes it was at the end, and then I'd just be so grateful that I had stayed the whole hour. Stay open. I want to read to you what are called the promises. I don't know if you've heard of them, but they're from page 83 of the Alcoholics Anonymous Big Book. And I want to leave with you some hope today. These promises have come true for me and countless others who are in recovery. I sometimes have a difficult time reading these because I get emotional. There are those stupid feelings again. So let's see if I can get through them today, all right? It reads, if we are painstaking about this phase of our development, we will be amazed before we are halfway through. We are going to know a new freedom and a new happiness. We will not regret the past nor wish to shut the door on it. We will comprehend the word serenity and we will know peace. No matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how our experience can benefit others. That feeling of uselessness and self-pity will disappear. We will lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows. Self-seeking will slip away. Our whole attitude and outlook on life will change. Fear of people and economic insecurity will leave us. We will intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle us. We will suddenly realize that God is doing for us what we could not do for ourselves. Are these extravagant promises? We think not. They are being fulfilled among us, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. They will always materialize if we work for them. All right, I made it through. I made it through this time. So, when you're in that first week, a new freedom and a new happiness feels like a million miles away. But I am living proof that these promises are real. They do come true. If you're fighting for your life through your first week right now, please don't fight alone. I'm here with you. Drop a comment below and let me know what day you're on. I'm here to lift you up. I'm here to support you. And if you want to keep walking this path with me, hit that subscribe button so we can get through the next 30 days together. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you. Take it easy on yourself today. Go to a meeting and continue living the solution. And I'll see you in the next video.